This is going to be a fun one. All right. This one's going to be about Soul Syncs, which this video is going to be completely comprised of the different Soul Syncs that you could use and all what they pretty much do and they mean. Pretty much there are four different types of Soul Syncs. There are four. Two of them are technically can fit in the same category, but they're considered different because they do different aspects of the same thing, basically. Um, for example, the first thing I'll go into is there is technically five if I think about it actually, because there's initial Soul Sync, which is initial light. The initial Soul Sync is pretty much when you first get access to your soul. The first time you get access to your soul is considered initial Soul Sync. That is the first Soul Sync anyone learns, because if you don't have that, you can't use your soul at all. In the moment you access initial Soul Sync is when you're able to use your soul. So, meaning, since all you guys have your vapor memes, you guys have all access to your soul. You all had that instinct, that initial sync. Which, if you're able, for example, since Genesis is able to make his riffs, whoop, and disappear. Or Amelia is able to use her blood manipulation or blood boil and stuff like that. She's had her initial. Mind you, the first one is the initial. Once it happens the first time, it's forever. It doesn't turn off. It's always there. Now, the point about the initial Soul Sync is that the initial Soul Sync pretty much helps your lifespan. And the reason why is because, as I said, your soul is based on energy. So, every normal being in Ultimatus, or not just Ultimatus, the entire planet of Tarth, in the entire universe, their bodies are naturally gifted with life energy. So, pretty much, let's say, for example, as humans, we are normally live to about 80 or so years, but if taking care of ourselves for a long time, we can live maybe to our early hundreds. In the early hundreds. Now, here's the kicker here. Once you have that initial life, you are born with that energy and all that. Every time you get cut, every time you take damage, every time you get hurt or whatever, that takes a bit of life energy to heal that wound. So meaning the more damage you endure throughout your life, the shorter lifespan you're probably going to have. A good example of this is why back then we fought a lot more. We got injured and all that. And why we live now is because we got medicine, technologies, and all that to help us live longer, because we're taking care of ourselves and keeping our bodies more healthy. So our life energy is not dwindled down as much. With Ultimatus, you have that life energy. That life energy is there, so most mortals will live to maybe like 80 or so, depending on how risky their life is. But the moment you reach that initial sync is when that completely just flips. Well, not really flips, but it changes. Because instead of using your life energy, it will primarily use your soul's energy to heal your body. So, pretty much when your body's having issues, your soul would be fueling your healing. Hence why some people's healing capabilities are a little bit faster or weaker than others. Stop flashing. I'm telling a lamp to stop. But to put that into perspective, that means people live way longer. Like, when I mean way longer, an average civilian will live maybe 150, 140, 160 years. About 50% longer than they normally would. And same goes with other creatures, like dragons and all that. Dragons are not immortal by age. They just have a ridiculously powerful soul to begin with, and they're able to... Their regeneration for their soul, which pretty much is how quickly you can regenerate energy into your soul, is way faster. Not to mention, your life energy is non-renewable. So once you start using that life energy, it wears out, it disappears, it doesn't come back. Your soul energy replenishes. It replenishes itself, it refills. Kind of like mana in a way. So that's why they live longer, because in their life energy, when you get hurt, as I said, it takes a bit of that life energy, and it's non-renewable. So it's just slowly draining and draining and draining. While in certain things, your body can be helped with your soul energy. pretty much your soul energy substitutes for life energy, and it's able to allow you to live longer because you're using a mixture of soul energy and life energy to fuel your body to live. Anyway, so pretty much with your initial sync, you live longer. After that, though, you do have the 4 other syncs to your body. Those 4 other syncs are, I'll name them real quick and I'll go into detail afterward. There is aggro sync, there is deaf sync, there is cognition sync, and then there is instinctive sync. Which, those 4 are kind of interesting. First 2, aggro and deaf. I'll go into detail about those real quick. Aggro sync is considered aggressive soul sync. It's when you're using your energy and focusing your energy to sync your body to increase your physical prowess. So meaning you can use your energy to increase your physical strength, you can use it to increase your speed and your agility and so forth. It does that. But there's also another form of aggro soul sync, which is pretty much aggroing your weapon. Which pretty much it's known as external soul sync. They're known as external aggro, which is pretty much, as I said, when you're able to coat your blade in your energy, like Amelia would be able to coat her blade in the blood energy and all that. That is aggroing your blade. That's known as aggro your blade. For instance, someone says, "Oh, have you learned how to aggro a sword yet?" What the fuck does that mean? That's what he means. That's what they mean by it. Normally how the aggro works, there are 3 different stages for it. For example, there is the first stage, which is known as translucent aggro, which translucent means, the best way I can put it is kind of like, imagine like a glossy shine over your blade, like a glossy shine. It's like transparent, mind you. It kind of looks like someone poured like oil on it. But depending on your energy, like let's say Amelia, for example, it'll look like translucent blood. It's covering the blade, kind of like glimmering. If you've played Skyrim, you know like how the enchanted look on a blade looks. Similar to that in a way, but depending on the energy, your soul's energy depends on what it will glimmer. So for Amelia's example, it would be kind of like a reddish, a very dark red glimmer to it. There is solid aggro. With solid aggro is pretty much your blade is pretty much glowing like a light. It's basically glowing like a lightsaber. In your energy, it's basically illuminating like a lightsaber. It's no longer that kind of like glimmer shine to it. It's a solid color. And normally what this represents is that your sync is more in depth. You've learned how to use it. You're using it very proficiently. You're pretty proficient in it. And then there's the final form, which is known as soul aggro, or not really soul aggro. Full aggro. Full aggro is when your soul is fully attuned to the weapon. It's fully aggroed. You are fully good with the blade. So in this example, not only would it be illuminated in your energy, it would also be showing aspects of the energy. So for example, for Amelia's case, it will look like some of the energy be dripping off the blade. So the blade will literally look like it's bleeding. It will literally look like blood's dripping off the blade, even though it's not. It's energy. So pretty much it's an example of saying, yeah, I've gotten to this tier. I've gotten this strong. I've gotten this good at my ability. Pretty much it's like expertise. It's like your expertise. You're extremely skilled with it. Mind you, I don't know if you guys will get that in your series, but in this campaign. Maybe one of you will, maybe not. We'll find out. Yeah, that's aggro. That's the aggro sync there. But there's also the normal aggro sync, which is your physical strength, your physical, not really endurance, but it's your physical strength, and you're beefing yourself up to become stronger and faster. Def sync is another form of physical sync, because the physical side of it, which def sync is DEF, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's defensive soul sync. Pretty much, you're literally forcing energy into your body to make it tougher, to make it able to take more damage. Doing def sync increases not only your defense, it doesn't make you hard or tougher as hell, like you're able to take a truck in the face and be fine. It also increases your endurance. So how long you can do it, how long you can keep fighting, and keep going and fighting and running and slashing and all that. It increases your endurance of doing things. So Def Sync's pretty well known at that. So pretty much, Aggro Sync increases your speed and strength. Def Sync increases your endurance and durability. Cat scared me for a sec. So those are the two physical Soul Syncs there, which is Aggro, Def. Now, if you guys are wondering, technically you can use Def Sync to your weapons, but there's pretty much no point in that, because what Def Sync will do to your weapon, it will just make your weapon more tougher and more durable. But honestly, unless you're using like a great sword or something like that, it's not going to be really useful. Unless you're going to use it for armor, like if you have a shield, maybe then it would make sense. But it wouldn't make sense to use it on a weapon. It would make sense that, like, if you have a shield, if you're a paladin or a cleric or whatever, and use a shield, then yes, learning how to use external soul Def Sync would make sense. And for this, how I was gonna, there's categories of that too, of the Def Sync, which is similar to how Aggro Sync works, which is pretty much level 1. It will your body will pretty much have like a shimmer of your energy around you. Kind of like how Aggro does around the blade. So pretty much whatever happens around the blade, similar to how it works there. However, the final stage of Aggro Sync, of Def Sync, is not known as Def Sync. It's known as a Soul Cloak. Which is pretty much you're wearing your soul. You're pretty much full on wearing your soul. And your soul manifests into a physical object you're wearing. Mind you, it's completely composed of energy. So it's not physical matter or anything. It's composed of energy. But it does bolster your defense. It does bolster your endurance. It also even gives you, amplifies your Aggro Sync. Because you're basically wearing your soul on the outside, so it's just... The best way I can describe this is imagine chakra mode for Naruto. In Naruto. Naruto's chakra mode, he's pretty much wearing chakra. It's the same, it's kind of the same concept. You're pretty much wearing your energy. You're wearing your power. So that is one of the final, that's like the final level of Def Sync, is you get Soul Cloak, which Soul Cloak pretty much is like, if you have Soul Cloak, you're pretty much on God tier, not God tier, but top tier of your skill. If you have your Soul Cloak, you're pretty much on the apex of your capabilities. And then now we go to the other two syncs. Cognition Sync. Now, most people just call it Cog Sync, but Cognition Sync. Cognition, if you guys don't know, cognition is pretty much your awareness and your awareness of other things. Look it up. Cognition normally means pretty much your ability to perceive the outside world. So Cognition Sync is pretty much using your energy to heighten your senses. So heighten your sense of smell, heighten your sense of taste, heighten your sense of touch, your sense of sight. I think I said sight already, but you know what I mean, like that. So mind you, when you use this though, it also means you can pretty much detect things around you. You can improve your abilities, like you can smell farther, you can see farther, you can react a little quicker to your sight, and so on and so forth. You can hear a little better. Normally though, the biggest point about this having Cognition Sync is that you'll be able to see energy. This is one of the biggest things. You'll be able to see energy with this. So if you had Cognition Sync, you'd be able to say, oh, I see that energy blade coming at me. You'll see magical effects. So pretty much the best way to put it is that if you have any experience in D&D, Cognition Sync is pretty much a unique way of doing, like, detect magic. The detect magic skill. Like, you're able to detect energy and magic around you. Now, mind you, magic's not invisible, but some energies are. For example, if you have this on, you'll be able to see something that is coated in energy. You'll be able to see, oh, it has a magical aura around it. You'll be able to see that. But yeah, Cognition Sync, there's really not much about that. It's just, that's how it is. If you have it, there's only two stages of it. The first one is just being able to enhance your abilities. The second one is be able to pretty much detect the energy in things. So if you have the higher version, you can literally see inside someone's soul and literally see how powerful, how much energy they really have. Which is very useful, but also kind of terrifying. There's another thing that rivals this ability, which is known as a nerve sense, but I will explain that in another video, because the nerve sense is weird in its own right. So, the other thing about this is, the final one is instinctive soul sync. Instinctive soul sync is something not everyone has. No, everyone can't just simply have it. The other three, anyone can have. Anyone can obtain this with hard work and ability, but not everyone can get instinctive. Instinctive is pretty much a sign of prodigy. Pretty much you're a prodigy among your generation. If you haven't now, instinctive soul sync is pretty much as it sounds. Your soul is fueling your instincts. So basically, what's happening here is that imagine you're fighting someone and there's an attack coming at you, and you just miraculously dodge it. Cause even though you didn't see it coming, you miraculously somehow dodge it in any way, shape, or form in a way you didn't think you could possibly move, and you do it. That is instinctive. Now, the thing is about instinctive, I can see some people think that this is a broken ability, meaning you can never get hit. That's not the case. With instinctive, how it works is that if your body is physically capable of dodging it, it will dodge it. But if it moves fast enough that your body can't dodge it, you won't be able to dodge it. Your body will try its best to get it out of the way, but it won't. It will just right through you. Your instincts will be boosted to ridiculous levels. So if you're fighting someone and you just happen to not pay attention to them, and you're going, oh, this guy's nothing, but this guy actually has power, and you didn't realize it, because of the snatch it, if you're physically able to dodge it and your instincts detect it, go, oh shit, you're going to instantly dodge. You're going to dodge on instinct. It pretty much heightens your instincts, allows you to dodge things and all that, which is an ability that most people don't realize. And most people don't realize they actually have, unless someone that currently had Soul Sync figured it out. So if you have Soul Sync, get some training for it. Find someone, if someone else has it, ask them if they know how to use it. Because if they know how to use it, it'll be your best friend in combat. I'm not joking. Pretty much in the campaign, I have Instinctive Soul Sync to work as you can literally, you have a certain amount of charges, you can use it per day, and depending on the situation, like you can literally, like, I have you do a saving throw. You can say, I'm going to use one of my Instinctive Soul Sync, one of my Instinctive Soul Syncs. Okay, so you literally just immediately succeed, you immediately dodge it, and nothing happens to you. It even works on stealth attacks, it even works on anything. Unless I specify that it won't work, you can use it. Mind you, not all of you have this ability. I already have an idea of who's going to have it, but it depends on how you play your character, depending on who's going to have it. So yeah, that's going to be a very interesting situation. The Instinctive Soul Sync is the rarest. It's considered the ability of a prodigy, because it considers like, oh, if you have this, you're a prodigy. You're going to be the most skilled in combat of your generation. That's pretty much how they think of it. So that's that. That's the Soul Syncs. If you guys have further questions about that, feel free to let me know. But yeah.